Hi, my name is Officer Diaz, and today I'll be conducting your citizenship interview. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm that the statements you will give and provide today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Please take a seat. I don't know if you're familiar how we do interviews, but an interview is simple. First, we're going to do some personal questions. After that, as you know, you need to answer the civic test. We're going to do a writing and reading test and some basic questions which you have to respond yes or no. Before we begin, do you have any questions at all? Okay. Do you understand what an oath is? What is an oath? Do you understand during this process, this interview, you are under oath? Okay. Can I see your permanent resident card, your passport, and your ID, please? Thank you. What is your full legal name? Have you used a different name in the past? Would you like to change your name? Okay, what is your date of birth? And where were you born? Are you still a citizen of the country? Okay. What is your current address? Can you please spell the name of the street for me? Thank you. How long have you lived at this address? Okay. What was your previous address? Who lives at your current address with you? Okay. Are either your parents U.S. citizens? Were your parents married before your 18th birthday? What do you do for a living? Okay. Since when are you working at this place? Tell me a little bit of your job. What are your job duties? Thank you. Do you like your job? Okay, what is your marital status? How many times have you been married? What is your spouse's name? Can you please spell the name for me? Okay. When did you get married? Okay. Do you have any children? Are your children U.S. citizens? Okay, can you please give me the name of your children which are not U.S. citizens? And how old are they? Okay. Thank you. And these are your biological children? Okay, in the last 5 years, how many times have you traveled out of the United States? Okay, are you sure? Let me check something. Okay, yes, that's correct. And how many days in total have you spent out of the United States in these last 5 years? Okay, let's talk about the last trip. Where did you travel in your last trip? Oh, since you submitted your application, have you traveled again out of the United States? Okay. This last trip, how many days were you outside of the United States? Who traveled with you? And what was the purpose of this trip? Okay. Back in your country of origin, what was your job? Do you had a job back in your country of origin? What was it? Okay. I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to be honest with me. Why do you want to be an American citizen? Okay. What are the last four of your social security number? Perfect. Okay. Sorry for all these questions. We just need to process everything the right way, okay? I'm going to ask you 10 questions. You have to answer correct at least 6 of them to pass this portion of the test. Are you ready? Okay. First question. Who is in charge of the executive branch? Okay. What is one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? Okay. What is one promise you make when you become a United States citizen? Name the U.S. war between the North and the South. Why does the flag have 50 stars? What do we call the 10 First Amendments to the Constitution? What is the name of the Vice President of the United States now? During the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? We elect a U.S. Senator for how many years? Name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. Okay. Now, on the screen, you're going to see a sentence that I need you to read. Can you please read the following sentence? Okay. Now, can you please write the following sentence? Adams was the second president. Adams was the second president. If you need me to repeat it again, just ask, okay? No problem. Okay, again, Adams was the second president. Okay, let me check. Congratulations, you have approved both the civic, writing, and reading test. Okay, let's go to the second portion of the interview. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo te está yendo con la práctica? Recuerda que si te gustaría prepararte para responder una entrevista como esta, ofrecemos un curso en nuestra página cursosconfernando.com. En este curso encontrarás un orden de trabajo sin interrupciones que podrás estudiar a tu propio ritmo y a tus propios tiempos sin importar tu nivel de inglés. Además, contarás con el apoyo de nuestro equipo ayudándote en tu preparación. Recuerda, esta página es cursosconfernando.com. Continuemos con la práctica. Mucha suerte.
Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen? Have you ever registered to vote or voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? Do you currently owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes in the United States? Since you became a lawful permanent resident, have you called yourself a non-resident alien on a federal, state, or local tax return, or decided not to file a tax return because you considered yourself to be a non-resident? Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any communist or totalitarian party anywhere in the world? Have you ever advocated any of the following, or been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any group anywhere in the world that advocated any of the following? Opposition to all organized government, world communism, the establishment in the United States of a totalitarian dictatorship, the overthrow by force or violence or other unconstitutional means of the governments of the United States or all forms of law, the unlawful assaulting or killing of any officer or officers of the government of the United States or of any other organized government because of their official character, the unlawful damage, injury, or destruction of property, or sabotage. No to all of them? Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with, or have you ever provided money, a thing of value, services or labor, or any other assistance or support to a group that used a weapon or explosive with intent to harm another person or cause damage to property? Engaged in kidnapping, assassination, or hijacking, or sabotage of an airplane, ship, vehicle, or other mode of transportation? Threatened, attempted, conspired, prepared, planned, advocated for, or incited others to commit any of the acts listed in items numbers 6A or 6B. Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in any of the following? Torture, genocide, killing or trying to kill any person, intentionally and severely injuring or trying to injure any person, any kind of sexual contact or activity with any person who did not consent or was unable to consent or was being forced or threatened by you or by someone else, not letting someone practice their religion, causing harm or suffering to any person because of their race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion. Have you ever served in, been a member of, assisted, or participated in any military or police unit? Have you ever served in, been a member of, assisted, or participated in any armed group, for example, paramilitary unit, self-defense unit, vigilante unit, rebel group, or guerrilla group? Have you ever worked, volunteered, or otherwise served in a place where people were detained, for example, a prison, jail, prison camp, detention facility, or labor camp? Or have you ever directed or participated in any other activity that involved detaining people? Were you ever a part of any group, or did you ever help any group, unit, or organization that used a weapon against any person or threatened to do so? Have you ever sold, provided, or transported weapons, or assisted any person in selling, providing, or transporting weapons, which you knew or believed would be used against another person? Have you ever received any weapons training, paramilitary training, or other military type training? Have you ever recruited, enlisted, conscripted, or used any person under 15 years of age to serve in or help an armed group, or attempted or worked with others to do so? Have you ever used any person under 15 years of age to take part in hostilities, or attempted or worked with others to do so? This could include participating in combat or providing services related to combat. Include all the crimes and offenses in the United States or anywhere in the world, including domestic violence, driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol, and crimes and offenses while you were under 18 years of age, which you ever committed, agreed to commit, or asked someone else to commit, were arrested, cited, detained, or confined by any law enforcement officer, military official, or immigration official, were charged with committing, helping commit, or trying to commit, pled guilty to, were convicted of, were placed in an alternative sentencing or a rehabilitative program for, or received a suspended sentence, clemency, amnesty, or pardon for, or were placed on probation or paroled for. Have you ever committed, agreed to commit, asked someone else to commit, helped commit, or tried to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested? Have you ever been arrested, cited, detained, or confined by any law enforcement officer, military official, or immigration official for any reason, or been charged with a crime or offense? Have you ever engaged in prostitution, attempted to procure or import prostitutes or persons for the purpose of prostitution, or received any proceeds or money from prostitution? Have you ever manufactured, cultivated, produced, distributed, dispensed, sold, or smuggled any controlled substances, illegal drugs, narcotics, or drug paraphernalia in violation of any law or regulation of a U.S. state, the United States, or a foreign country? Have you ever been married to more than one person at the same time? Have you ever married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit? Have you ever helped anyone to enter or try to enter the United States illegally? Have you ever gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling? Have you ever failed to support your dependents or to pay alimony? Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States? Have you ever given any U.S. government officials any information or documentation that was false, fraudulent, or misleading? Have you ever lied to any U.S. government officials to gain entry or admission into the United States or to gain immigration benefits while in the United States? Have you ever been placed in removal, rescission, or deportation proceedings? Have you ever been removed or deported from the United States? Have you ever left the United States to avoid being drafted in the U.S. Armed Forces? Have you ever applied for any kind of exemption from military service in the U.S. Armed Forces? Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces? Do you now have or did you ever have a hereditary title or an order of nobility in any foreign country? Okay. Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Are you unable to take the oath of allegiance because of a physical or developmental disability or mental impairment? Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces? If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction? Please give me 1 minute. Okay, congratulations. At this time, you have approved your citizenship interview.